Okay, great. Think we're on track. All right, so hello and welcome to today's IA webinar hosted in partnership with Angi Leads. I'm Noreen Rich. I am IA's Member Engagement and Industry Relations Director, and we're very excited to share this new IA member benefit with you, our contractor members. So before we dive into the session itself, I am going to cover just a little bit of housekeeping. So first, the session is being recorded and will be available on the IA website, which is irrigation.org, under the member benefits section for future reference. So feel free to revisit the session and or share it as needed. Secondly, we will be monitoring the chat and Q&A dialog boxes throughout the session, and I do encourage you to submit your questions via those dialog boxes. You can submit them to me, you can submit them to the panelists. You can also just use the chat as an open forum to discuss generally any questions or comments. And then at the end of the session, that's typically when we will go through those questions. So I may give a chance to ask them earlier, but if not, we will be sure to address them at the end of the session itself. So now I'm going to introduce Chris Faber, who is an Angi Leads account manager for strategic partnerships. Chris and the Angi Leads team are your resource for utilizing this great new IA member benefit, and he is now going to walk us through the partnership. So Chris.
Hello, everyone. How are we doing today? Thanks for joining. Quickly, before we do get going on this, I also want to introduce Christine so she can say hi, and she'll be the one who's in charge of actually doing the onboarding, and we'll hop on a few of the slides here later on. All right.
Yep, and I'm actually just going to pop a quick poll up with the audience too, just to kind of ask how familiar people are with Angi Leads itself. So I'll kind of have that running in the background, Chris.
Cool, thank you so much. I'm going to go ahead and get started and review the different topics that we're going to cover. Going to try for the most part just to cover the basics. Certainly once you have decided if you're interested or not, Christine will go over much more in depth about what all includes with your membership, signing up for an account, and how the product works. But for the basics, we'll cover the benefits, what exactly Angi is. You know, we've evolved quite a bit over the last few years, both with our product and our name. The service requests and how matching and kind of just the basic steps of what a homeowner would go through and why they really flock to use homeadvisor.com and Angi. Then what makes this a partnership different versus if you just signed up on your own at the individual level, and then the onboarding expectations. IA member benefits. So with this, there will be special recognition. The logo is going to be displayed on your Angi profile. The profile is such an important part of getting the homeowner approval for when they go down the lead path on our website. So we still currently use homeadvisor.com. And actually, even though we go by Angi or Angi Leads on this side, HomeAdvisor purchased Angi's list several years ago, and through market research and rebranding, we have decided to go by the name of Angi Leads. So that is our side. We both still separate or operate at separate identities, but with that included on your business profile for Angi Leads, you'll have that member logo, you'll have your reviews and your ratings, all the different products, pictures of your products, and anything else related to yourself that you'd like to display on there. But most importantly, having that benefit of having that Irrigation Association logo, so people know that you're part of this well-known, respected industry. New Angi Lead members. So you're going to receive some discounts, and one of them is going to be waiving of the annual membership. So you won't have to pay that on a yearly basis, which is great. If you come in at the own level, if you just signed up on your own, you would have to pay a $300 fee annually. So get to save on that right at the gate. For existing lead members, we are also going to waive the leads renewal fee for 1 year. So you'll get that going forward as well too. So even if you've already paid before, you can expect to not have to pay for another year the next time you come through with it. So it's great opportunity there just to sign up and say, I'm part of Irrigation Association, and you speak with Christine. She'll of course know all about us and what exactly it is that you're getting signed up for, so she can go ahead and make sure that you're getting that for a year. And then also, new and renewing Angi Lead members will receive 30% discount on fees for your market match leads during the 30-day period when you sign up. So market match is our traditional homeowner path. where they go down, they choose what area they want to work in, what type of lead specifically work that they need. And then once that goes out to you and you call and work on those leads, so for that first 30 days, you'll get 30% off of those. So worth trying there just because you are saving some of the money as well. So certainly a nice perk there.
Yep, and I'll just share these poll results. I put something in the chat just saying that about more than half of the group isn't super familiar with Angi Leads. So hopefully today you guys get some good information.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, we will certainly cover more about specifically who we are, just because we do know with rebranding it can be a little bit confusing. Thank you. So what does Angi Leads do? So in a nutshell, we provide leads. So I don't want to say we don't provide jobs, but we provide you the opportunity to win a job. So essentially with our homeadvisor.com and then our other sources with Angie's List, we are the #1 marketer in the US for people who are looking for work done at their house, inside or outside. And with the homeowner pathway, where we have essentially certification set up and a process of trust that homeowners really like coming to our website, knowing that they're going to get someone who is A, licensed to do the work and capable to do it, and then B, going to be responsible enough to see the work through. So that's why our website has become so popular. And essentially, we will match the homeowner up with several pros who then will bid on the job. So understand this is an opportunity, not a guarantee. I just like to make sure that everyone is aware of that. So we help grow your business by connecting you with those homeowners. So part of it is us providing that. And then part of it is, of course, your own follow-up process, which we will also help hone and grow and make sure that kind of get that process down. Some of you probably already have that down, but for any of you, we're always here to share tips, learn from each other as well. Flexible location and lead category settings that you can fine tune to your account. And so with this means that you can choose which specific zip codes in your area that you'd like to work. With also all of our different lead types and categories, you can decide what type of work it is that you'd like to sign up for. So maybe if you want to focus more specifically on doing sprinkler installs versus mowing a yard, you can pick and choose when and where, how often you want. You can always choose to turn off your leads if you get too busy. So we provide a lot of flexibility in that ability to update your account, your zip codes, the types of leads you take on, just making sure that you're following a process that's right for you. So we never want you to feel like you have to keep leaving your leads on. And with that waived annual fee, you can pause your leads if you get busy or if you go on vacation and not have to feel guilty about it on your own end. And then now that Irrigation Association is partnered with Angi, you will get even more, which we're about to cover. And as I was speaking to earlier on about why homeowners choose Angi, one of the most important parts is that we are one of the most well-known names in the industry, especially in the United States. We certainly picked up our marketing aspects. You might have seen in the World Series last year, even some with the Super Bowl. So just really getting that name out there. I know back when I was in college, I started first hearing about Angie's List. And at that time, I didn't own a home, so I had no idea what they did. Now, certainly very familiar with the product, certainly with Home Advisor as well, too. So we are that website where people are going to say, if I need something done, well, A, I could always go word of mouth, or B, I also have a dedicated, reliable website that I can go to knowing that they have the best people signed up who can provide a bid on that work and make sure it's done properly. So part of that is the safety and security. So we do the criminal and financial background checks on pros, make sure everyone's properly licensed. We're not going to just send the guy who just does something, fixes his house on the side and goes on and says, oh yeah, I'll come over and try to fix that. So with that contracting and insurance there, that the homeowners know that the person that they're getting is someone who's properly qualified to actually do the work for them. So they've got that trust factor that we're not just sending a random stranger into their household. With the advanced matching, so it is finding local pros that have the ability to take on the job in the timeliness that they're looking for. So And with that, it's also specific to the type of jobs that they're wanting to do. We will go over some of that homeowner pathway with some screenshots in the next few slides as well. On-demand service. So the only national solution for connecting and booking instantly with pros. So now that we've grown so much and we've covered Angie's List as well, we've tried to take the best of both worlds and put them into each of our own products as well. And then project resources. So providing lots of new updates and options. If you've tried us before, one of the things that we've had rolled out recently is that now you can upload your 5 latest Google reviews. So that is something when the homeowners are looking at your own profile and they see that Irrigation Association, they're also going to want to know that this person is still actively in business. So getting your reviews uploaded, having a profile that's built out, just like if you have a Facebook page, it's the same thing across all platforms. Just like if you're shopping for someone to do sprinklers for yourself, you would want to look at their business page and know that I can feel comfortable because they're clearly taking care of their online, of their homeowners that have worked with them. They have good things to say. If for some reason a problem comes up, you can see that it's being addressed. And just like loading up your pictures, just talking about the associations, your involvement in the community, all those things are great. And we give you that opportunity as well to get in front of our homeowners with those. And next, we're going to review the service request matching. So if you go to homeadvisor.com, which is still our website that we utilize, this is where you're going to pop up to. And it'll give you the option to start typing what type of work it is that you're looking to be done. So here I typed in irrigation, and you can kind of see the first few things that populate. If you were to type down more, it would limit it even more so and kind of filter out other options. And then here's kind of the next few questions that it will go down and ask you about. So here indicates what items you need. So you can click multiple choices. Sometimes there's more down below as well too. The nature of the project, of course, the specific zip code, because I'm in Kansas. So, if you work in New York, you're not going to have my zip code signed up. So that's going to either A, filter you out, or if you are covering that specific zip code, they'll include you in that search or when I get to the very end with filling out all my information. And then here's a few more of the different ones too. So choosing the appropriate status for the project. Either I'm ready to hire, or maybe I'm more so just I am looking for a quote. But just depending on what I kind of find out, some people get that sticker shock value. Certainly wanting the good work to be done, but maybe not prepared financially at that very moment. Will the system need to be controlled by a time clock? Always new technology. We want to make sure we include those in the homeowner pathway to make sure that we're providing them with all the different options and also educating them too, if they didn't know that was something that is available to them. And then the last question there is, will the sprinkler lines need to be trenched under any driveways or pathways? So we look to feedback from you all for what type of things you need to know from the homeowner. And that's something we take into consideration as well with our product team, and going back and saying, hey, we think it might be worth asking this too. So that way you guys can help us hone our homeowner pathway to make sure that you're prepared for the type of leads we're going to send you. And what makes this different? So I'm going to hand this off to Christine now, if you don't mind.
All right, thanks everybody for coming. I'm Christine Battle. Chris Faber introduced me earlier. So a couple of the benefits, enterprise sales team, that's me and Chris Faber and Justin Maynard. I'll be working specifically with new accounts. So first we have one point of contact across the whole org in terms of learning more about specific costs and demand that we're seeing for your territory and making sure you're being set up correctly. Lead fee integration. So what this is we're able to work with any CRM APIs that you currently have in place for your business, get that set up for you. This way we can connect any other softwares that you're currently using to help the sales process organization for your business with our Angi Leads account. And then obviously brand and marketing content. We can upload any logos, any pictures that you guys want, any reviews, everything like that, as well as you're able to then market that you're involved and integrated with the Angi Home Advisor Network. The live and recorded coaching and training sessions. So this is the first introduction. We are able to set up ongoing live training, recorded coachings for any new members, approved members that want to look at their account, basically make strategic changes as you continue to work with us to help optimize Angi leads. And then sign up membership deals, just like Chris mentioned earlier. So you have the waived annual membership as well as the discount on leads in the first month using the platform. So that's a huge bonus to be able to try out the service, make sure it works for you, and with saving money at the same time and be able to grow your business.
Okay. And actually, I do have a few questions here, and I'll just kind of interject to kind of get them out now. So one question that came in is, are there individual lead fees? It looks like, I see Justin, you may be answering in the Q&A box as well, but I don't know if Chris or Christine, you want to address that, if there are individual lead fees.
There are. The short answer is yes. The fee price, which when you speak with Christine, she'll be able to narrow it down once you provide her with the zip code range that you're in or where your business is located. But essentially, we will not have the same pricing for something that's in New York City as we will that's the middle of nowhere, Kansas. So it will depend specifically on the zip code coverage that you're signed up in, and then also what the homeowner chooses for range of, say, like if I needed a yard mowed, one of the questions it's going to ask is like, how big is your yard? So that'll typically take that into giving you that fee. So while we understand it sometimes can be a little frustrating to not know specifically the set, we can narrow it down once Christine does talk to you.
I'll also piggyback off that. So obviously, Irrigation Association, you guys probably take on a lot more jobs and specifics outside of irrigation, but as a good example, right, you saw that we have irrigation sprinkler system installs versus service and repairs. There's going to be some professionals out there that prefer to just target installs or vice versa, just service and repairs. So it's also, like Chris said, that will also kind of determine specific lead prices as well. And I'll go into all of that on, follow-up calls as well.
Great. And I do see there are a couple other questions, but I'll kind of save some of these so you can get through your next slide, which might help answer some of these other questions. So I see you guys. We'll circle back to them, promise.
Yeah, and I will answer them as they come into the chat.
Great, thank you.
So what to expect in the onboarding process? I'll go through a quick application. It doesn't take too much time. I just like to make sure I'm setting everybody up as close and specific as possible to make sure we're able to get you up and running as soon as your account gets approved. But basically, you'll see the picture in the back where you see like a blue toolbar with the buttons. That's basically your pro portal. It's your account desktop version. It's a web browser which you log into, and you're able to customize your account post approval. And that's basically, I'll go over each of those on the orientation call once approved. And then you have the mobile app, of course. So the Angi Leads app is how you have access to your account on the fly. Ooh, the main stuff, though, in application and onboarding is basics. So we have to get basic information for the background check, the screening. We'll go over lead categories and coverage area, right? Specific zip codes, specific job tasks that you want to target. You don't necessarily need to be categorized for all the projects you offer and all the zip codes in your territory. That's what you want to do. You want to fine tune your account to make sure you are targeting your most ideal neighborhoods and most profitable projects. Communication preferences. So we can have multiple emails, phone numbers on your account for different purposes. Lead notification, consumer display, live directory display. So you don't necessarily need to have your cell phone number on the profile. You can have your business phone number, right? So there's different ways to make sure that we are providing all that information to the consumer. Profile, it's extremely important to build out your profile for your online reputation with Angi and with consumers, as well as just branding your company anywhere online. And of course, reviews. Consumers love to see good reviews. And Chris Faber already mentioned that we do have a way to import your Google reviews, at least your most recent 5 as well. Background check and licensing. Again, we do a background check on the owner, making sure you got no dead bodies in your backyard or anything like that. And then licensing depends on obviously state regulation, what the state requires. Membership and payment expectations, we'll go over that on our next calls, but it's basically, we'll just review how we go about setting it up with the Irrigation Association program. All of that will be implemented and I'll have it set up for your application. So it'll be pretty seamless once you're approved. And then how do you enroll? You can email me, or that's my direct work number, no extension. I would say email is best to set up a call. Obviously, I understand you guys are super busy, your owners, operators, but obviously you can call me anytime. And I'm happy to help look into your account.
Thank you so much, Christine.
Yep. Thanks, guys.
I'll leave that up here for now as well, just so you guys can get an opportunity to put that down.
And then Justin, I see that you were kind of going through and answering those questions. So everybody on the webinar should, I think, be able to see them as well, but I'm just going to kind of quickly recap them for the group's benefit. So the question about, are there individual lead fees? Justin replied, yes, you pay for the leads that we send you. They will be discounted at a 30% rate as a result of the partnership between IA and Angi Leads. So that's part of the member benefit. How do you choose to refer to several contractors in the same zip code? We will send to a max of 4 only. Depends on who is active for match at the time the request comes in. So there's that. And then a question about homeowners only or business customers as well. And Justin replied that you have the ability to choose residential or commercial. So it sounds like both are an option, just kind of part of your profile setting up, as Christine mentioned. And then instant booking is not available in our company. Online estimates do not fly, as site visits are often a must. All work is booked through office, as it's beyond Angi client wants. And Justin, I mentioned that instant booking is optional, so they can turn that feature off as well. Justin, I'm assuming it's optional based off of your profile, right? Company profile you set up?
Yeah, so if instant booking doesn't work for your company, it is a simple on-off switch on our side, so we can opt you out of that feature so that you never get those leads.
Yep. And then on average, how many leads can we expect per month? Depends on the market. We'll provide all that with you during the onboarding process. So it can be customized based on your monthly budget. Again, I think going back to your profile, so probably really setting up and thinking and being thoughtful about your profile is probably pretty important. And then what is the average success rate for leads? What percent turns into sales? So everyone is different. What it boils down to is the follow-up process. So I think Chris had mentioned at the beginning of it, this creates a system or a process or service that generates leads for you, but ultimately it doesn't necessarily seal the deal. So there is still some work, but we're hoping to get you more qualified leads at a little bit of a discounted rate, given your partnership or your membership with us and our partnership with Angi. So
correct. And if you don't mind, I do want to just briefly touch on kind of those last 2, Steve. I think those are great questions and an opportunity for everyone who should realize this is that the best part for me about these partnerships is that it is not me applying pressure to make sales or or Christine or Justin. What is important here is knowing if it's right for you, because we see some companies see a lot of success because they're set up well to take on leads, and you'll see some companies who probably don't see success because maybe they haven't set themselves up. So, and that can go anywhere up and down the board. You can have an account that's just running just 1 or 2 people running their own business, but they're really on top of their follow-up process. And that's one of the things that we'll work on, creating ways of educating, just understanding what it is that homeowners are telling us that they expect. So, if we have a company that's calling, 2 or 3 companies that call and they get that homeowner on the phone like right away or send a text message, they might book those appointments. And for the type of homeowner that I am, I'm probably only wanting to speak with 1 or 2 people. That's just me being honest. Now, my wife, on the other hand, she wants to get a bid from every single person and she'll make time for it. So it just depends on that and what your process is. So if you're somebody who maybe can't call a lead for 2 days, 3 days, I'm just going to say right off the bat, it might be something worth just finding your own process before getting started, because we do want you to see success. And that's the same thing goes with how many average leads you can see per month. It's really up to you and what you can handle. But it also helps to know your own area, and you guys know your own areas more than we do. So if you have the ability to travel throughout the greater area of your metropolitan, then yeah, take on all the zip codes you can. Or if there's a certain part of town where you think maybe the homeowners there are more likely to put a big bid in on a large new sprinkler system, then great. You guys tell us that too, and that's what we'll focus it on.
Yeah, and to Chris's point, just to follow up, Steve, like we can set you up with 6 or 7, 10, 20 zip codes, right? And you may get a lead from a zip code every single day for a week and it doesn't convert. My advice to you in that situation is just to remove that zip code. Stop going there. They're not the type of homeowners you want to do business with.
Yeah, absolutely. Having the ability to make time to certainly look and see what type of leads you're getting, like Justin just mentioned, the specific zip code, or even just what type of leads that you're seeing are converting. So I always encourage, and we'll talk about that more on our calls in the future, is just tracking with all your lead types for whatever different sources you use, is how many of those leads turn into actual appointments, and then how many of those appointments turn into jobs closed. So some of that could be from the different lead sources. Some of it that could be as well, if you're being honest with yourself about your own follow-up process. So lots of factors, but we're here to also help provide that direction.
Yeah, and I think too, this is an IA partnership with Angi Leads, but really it also converts into a partnership between Angi Leads and your business. So I think that's important to think about and to consider. So I do just want a little quick, I don't see any more Q&As or anything else in the chat. So I know we're just at about time here. So it looks like we've covered everything. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap up today's session. So thank you, Chris, Christine, and Justin for all being here and kind of working with us on this. We will be sharing the session recording link via email and our contact information to help you get started with Angi Leads if you want to go ahead and move forward with kind of that conversation. So we hope this partnership provides value to both you and your business. And please, please, please don't hesitate to reach out to me directly or Christine as you go through the onboarding process. We are here to help. So again, thank you for joining us and have a great day. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.